COVID-19 recovery, helping Hoosiers recover financially, physically, mentally, and socially through services provided by Community Action of Greater Indianapolis. Services include energy assistance, child care, family support, education, training programs, transitional housing, and food assistance. COVID-19 recovery.
Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to COVID-19 Recovery. And as we've mentioned before, we're moving the show into a different direction, probably more in December. We'll have more of a wellness slant to the show, overall wellness, whether it's financial wellness or physical wellness or mental wellness. So stay tuned for a change in COVID-19 recovery. But today, we're continuing this particular show with Stephanie Sanders of the Moselle Sanders Foundation. She is the COO. Her son, Stephen, is the CEO. But we have Stephanie joining us today. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome to COVID-19 Recovery.
Hi, Kelly.
Welcome.
Thank you. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you, too. You know, you at this moment it looks like you're relaxed. You got your baby there, your doggy. But that's not really how life is for you right about now, because we are weeks away from Thanksgiving Day when we do the big annual dinner. So tell us what life is really like for you right about now and the weeks leading into the big dinner.
Kelly, how about organized chaos? Organized chaos, okay? Since COVID, we're not at Butler University, so we have to have various self-help preparatory places, such as Robert's Church. We have Tabernacle Presbyterian, New Directions Church, Light of the World, and a host of other churches to help us prepare food for 10,000 hungry people. So just me getting that in line, along with our satellites where you can just come pick up prepared meals, would be like Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, that's our hub, along with Mount Vernon Church where it all started. And we have a list of places that will be on the satellite, that all those satellites will be listed on our website this evening.
Okay.
So organized chaos, and I got that from our chef. That's what he uses when he's in the kitchen preparing.
Okay. Now, you have a news flash for everybody, though, for this year's Moselle Sanders Thanksgiving Day dinner, right?
Right. The flash, Kelly, is we will not be preparing turkey this year because of the bird flu and shortage of turkeys. We couldn't get enough to accommodate us. So we're not going vegetarian. We will have pulled chicken, and that's the chicken breast. It's not processed. It's pulled, tender, succulent, juicy meat of the chicken, the breast. And we will have our regular stuffing or dressing, if you will, with the gravy, along with the pulled chicken, green beans, rolls, and dessert.
Okay, because I figure, if we're going to change, we might as well, let's go ahead and go with ribs this year. Why? Let's go on out.
No, somebody said ham, but I know you're a health fanatic, so you don't want anybody's blood pressure. We did the chicken, and to some people don't know that when the bird flu first came out, maybe 15 years or something ago, we did chicken before. This is our second time.
Oh, so this isn't the first time this has happened?
Okay. Right. This is the second time.
So how does that affect you, though, and in terms of having to change the meat? And what do you think about the reaction to that, since, people are so hooked on turkey for Thanksgiving?
Well, really, if I tell you, you would know. You would, but a lot of people would not know because it looks the same. It's a different taste, where turkey may be a little bit drier. Chicken's a little bit moist. And it looks, like I said, it looks the same. And then you got gravy over it. But just change is good right now because you don't want anybody to get sick.
Okay.
So thus we're being safe using cooking the turkey.
Okay.
I mean cooking the chicken.
Okay. So you mentioned Mount Vernon Missionary Baptist Church. Take us back to how this all started, because you fed as many as 40,000. You mentioned 10,000 this year, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But take us back to how this all started.
Okay, well, Moselle was the cook by trade, and he was the pastor of the church. So hearsay, because I was in Chicago at that time. I came here in 1989. Moselle passed in 1988, but there were a few people, guys sitting outside on the church steps. It's Thanksgiving. What are you all doing out here? Why aren't you somewhere getting a meal? They said they were hungry. He went in there and fed them. They brought back people with them. The next year, he fed them. It went from Pearl's Lounge to Arsenio Tech to other little places, I understand, before it went to, when I was here, it came to Butler. But it all started with no vision. I mean, he liked to cook. He was the pastor of the church. Here's some guys just sitting out front. Come on, I'll feed you.
Wow.
And that's how it began. From those, I think, 8 to 10 to now, from 40 now back to 10,000 due to COVID.
Wow.
But newsflash, I did
another
talk
one.
to Butler. And Butler will be available next year if everything is the same. That means if everything in terms of health and safety is like it is now, they will be opening up for 2023 Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay. And we'll talk more about that in terms of recovering from COVID-19 and how that shift happened from Butler and how you're headed back. But I want to put it out there for people who are watching, because at this point, you're in your fundraising mode really all year round. But obviously, a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving, we're asking folks to give, right? And how can they give?
Yes, thank you, Kelly. First of all, I want the folks to know that for us to prepare dinner, it used to be $4.50. Now it's $5. With inflation, they know it already because they go to the grocery store. So yeah, so if you donate $10, you're still feeding 2 people on Thanksgiving Day. And our budget for buying food, of course, is high, sky high, because everybody knows. Because when you go to the store, you see the prices of this went up. Yeah, but we are asking donation. As we do every year, and the Hoosiers always come in and make it happen. You can go to text Moselle 313131, or you can go to our website, which is mosellesanders.org, or you can snail mail it to Mount Vernon Church, where our office is located, 709 North Belmont Avenue, and that zip code is 46222.
Okay, so we've got that information on the screen as well. So folks, if you're watching now, you know it happens every year. Probably, I believe it's the biggest annual Thanksgiving Day dinner that feeds thousands of people in the city every year. The biggest one in the country. Be a part of that. And people are hurting. People need food. And you certainly don't want people going without food on Thanksgiving Day. And as Stephanie mentioned, the increase in prices is affecting people's.
And a lot of people don't know, Kelly, but twice a year, we partner with Gleaners in Midwest. So we give away groceries twice a year, the second Thursday of the month and the last Friday of the month. So, we're not new to this. We're true to this food. That's our passion. That's what we do, is we love for people to be happy and to be full. You can't be happy if you're hungry.
I love that. I love it.
You'll be hangry.
I love that. I've never heard that before. That's pretty cool. That's right. You're right. So again, the information is on the screen. Folks, give to the Moselle Sanders Foundation. Another
way to give. Sorry. You can dial 317-636-7985. and they'll give you prompts. Number one is donate. I think number two is to order a dinner until we get more numbers out. That's a number that goes straight to our church, and somebody will call you and verify it within 48 hours. 317-636-7985 if you want to get on the phone. And then if you just want to text us directly, it will be Moselle 313131.
Okay, and so that's to give. And again, whether it's you as an individual or get your coworkers involved, go to your boss and say, you know, we need to get everybody in the office. Let's do a collection and give to the Moselle Sanders Foundation. There's all kinds of ways you can do that. Knock on doors, whatever it takes to make this happen each year. Because it ain't for punks. As my friend Fran Washington Daniels says, Fran says, it ain't for punks putting this together.
No, it's not.
Am I right?
You're right. And also, don't just, if you don't have anything to give, what about your time? What about donating your time to volunteer? At that same number, 317-636-7985, to volunteer, or to that's to deliver or to work at our sites, or you can go online, which Katrina would love for you to do, to donate to work, volunteer at Roberts Church or at Friendship Church. You go on our website to do that too. So, you know, we want your money. Yeah, we need it because it's up there with oxygen. Okay.
There you
can't breathe without it. You can't eat without it. But we do need volunteers to help us to deliver, to work in the kitchen, and also clean up.
Okay. Okay. So we need volunteers for that. And then,
Yes.
of course, we want you to give. Again, the information's on the screen. We're going to take a break here in a second. But when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about what happened with Butler University and how the big comeback from Butler University. Of course, we want to talk about that. And then there's also a telethon that we're going to tell you about that's happening here on WHMB TV 40. You talk about, what did you say earlier about how it's hard to keep up with everything? Well, telethons are no joke either. So I'm feeling you, but we are doing that to raise money for the Moselle Sanders Foundation. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. We'll talk more with Stephanie Sanders after this.
During the COVID-19 emergency, community action agencies are open and here to ensure the well-being of families across the country. For over 50 years, we've been delivering life-changing services, solutions, and stability.
Contact your local community action agency serving Boone, Hamilton, Hendricks, and Marion counties for help during the COVID-19 emergency. We can assist with masks, hand sanitizers, food, shelter, transportation, and more. Apply today.
And we're back here on COVID-19 recovery. My usual co-host, Al Bracken, could not be with us today, but he'll be back with us next time for the next episode of COVID-19 recovery. But today we do have Stephanie Sanders, who is the COO of the Moselle Sanders Foundation. And I want to talk to you a little bit about, well, let's go ahead and talk about the telethon, because I don't want people to miss out on that. Tell folks what happens on that day and your goals for the telethon.
On that day, it is fun, it's fellowship, it's even food. You know, we feed the hungry wherever we go. And we have such a good time with all the different guests that come down and that donate and that help out. We have I can't tell them all the good things that's going on in terms of
we don't want to give it all away.
We don't want to tell them all, but I tell you what, it helps us.
Okay.
It helps us feed the hungry on Thanksgiving Day. And not only that, we just have so much fun down there because we're dancing and getting on Kelly's nerve by not being on time and what we're supposed to be doing and taking too long on the mic. But it's a great day. And we really appreciate Channel 40 for opening their doors for the telethon again this year.
Okay, so to fill you all in on the telethon, it is actually recorded. It is not live, but it's taped. It's recorded at the Madam Walker Building, but the broadcast is on the Saturday, November 12th from 4 to 6 p.m. here on WHMB TV 40. So we invite you to tune in, to watch, to give. There will be information to give. Now you can give right now because we got the info on the screen, but come back for the telethon on Saturday, November the 12th and watch. It's a 2-hour telethon. Tell your friends, lock it in your phone. As she mentioned, we're going to have some celebrities, a few of them on Let the Cat Out the Bag. The mayor will be there. A message from the governor, some other local celebs, and lots of local performers, your favorites in the community. Some perform at the Jazz Kitchen. They're all over town. We're, indie fringe performing, a little bit of theatrical stuff going on there, a fashion show. So don't miss it. Yeah. The Moselle Sanders Foundation Telethon here on WHMB TV 40. Woohoo! And of course, we want to thank some of our supporters. We mentioned Carosaurus, which is a big supporter of the telethon. Many, many more, just people who come out. And I know who, the gentleman that you were telling me, the real estate company that always helps you every year. They're there for you.
Flaherty Collins.
Flaherty and Collins.
Flaherty and Collins. That would be Dave Flaherty and then Jerry Collins and his son Mike Collins. They always come.
Okay, and many, many more, really. And again, that day we'll be lifting those people up during the telethon. So now, when COVID-19 hit, how did it hit you and the Moselle Sanders Thanksgiving Day dinner?
It was a slap in the face. We didn't know what to do, how we were going to do it. Who was still going to be a part of it, because I don't want to say a lot of people stopped volunteering, but some of our key people, because we were all scared. Did nobody want to come together, so it hit us. But I have to say that we made it through that year. And that's because we had our satellites and we had restaurants that were working with us, such as Outback and Muldoon's and Dawson's and Iola's and quite a few restaurants. Well, this year we have enough preparatory places. Like I mentioned, New Directions is 2,000. That's a church. And then we have Robert's Church is 1,500. Mark Webster, the catering, Taste Catering is 1,500. Tabernacle is 1,200. So we have enough places opening up that I don't have to worry the restaurants and tell them, hey, can you try to get your employees to come and work on Thanksgiving? Because they really went above and beyond to help out. Okay. So it was rough, but we made it.
Right. So you kept moving forward. You're feeding still thousands of people, not at your peak numbers, but when you go back to Butler, and the hope is that you'll return to those numbers at some point, right? Is that the hope?
Yeah, that's the hope, but that goes to show you, though, people are still hungry. I mean, if it gets better, it's better for us and the situation. But the way it looks, and the Bible says the hungry will be with you, or the poor will be with us always. And it looks like it's kind of getting worse because inflation is going, it's going up, and it's more people hungry. But we'll probably hit 2023 with 20,000 versus 10. Hopefully it's not 40,000.
Okay.
Because that goes to show that things look pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. And remember, you have your Pacers. They do something for Thanksgiving, the Colts, and the different restaurants, They're all doing something. But our claim to fame is we're the oldest and the largest now in USA.
Wow.
I'm going to go on and get it put in the Guinness Book of Records. It costs $1,200. That's why I didn't want to do it. And we're the Family Foundation. This is Family Foundation. So Pepsi-Cola may be doing something, but they haven't done it as long as us, and it's not a family foundation. And we Hoosier hospitality. It happens right here in the city of Indianapolis. And this is the only place where you can find the mayor, which is a Democrat, and our governor, which is a Republican, work together on a holiday each year.
Yeah, yeah.
They're side by side. And it's funny because they're signifying with each other. And I get to be the boss. How about that?
President for a day, huh? You're their commander-in-chief for a day.
Yes. The next day, they know me not. But on Thanksgiving, I have to say Wednesday and Thursday. Oh, yeah. I'm up there. But Friday, who is she?
Yeah, and they come out and they show their love and support. And really, my feeling about it is everybody loves Moselle Sanders. It's just, and anybody I talk to, it doesn't matter. Like you said, Republican, Democrat, young, old, black, white, it doesn't matter. People go, oh, yeah. They support you. They support what you're doing.
Yeah. It's a blessing. Couldn't do it without.
Right.
We couldn't do it.
Right. And
we couldn't do it.
You feed everybody.
Everybody. I said, the kids said, everybody in the club. Everybody gets a hot meal. Everybody. I just listened to somebody on the voicemail. They want 12 meals. They said because they want to have enough to last to Monday.
Oh.
It's that bad. This guy who's on home.
Wow.
It's just him and his wife, but they want to have enough to last to Monday. So can they order 12 meals?
Okay. And so let's talk about ordering meals. Let's talk about that, because a lot of people think because you're feeding the hungry, but you will send a meal to anybody because sometimes it's not hungry. It may be I'm disabled and I can't cook Thanksgiving Day. Let's talk about that.
That's a lot of times, Kelly, being disabled and not being able to cook, or being a senior citizen and they can't get, nobody's coming over, they can't go out of town to be with their loved ones. Or being in Fishers where you think, well, nobody's hungry out there in Fishers. Oh, yeah. We deliver at least 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 meals to Fishers. It's not location. Hunger does not have a definition for, like you said, race, age, or where you live. Hunger doesn't discriminate. It's everywhere. And it was Moselle's wish and our legacy is to make sure on Thanksgiving that nobody goes hungry. But we're trying to even do more than that. Like I told you, giving the groceries, not cook. This is the only time we cook and prepare the meals on Thanksgiving. Then my son, as you know, has talked to you. He's trying to do a community garden with the church on Belmont. So it's all about feeding.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I think it's really cool that you have your son. Talk about Stephen, because he's a pretty young guy and he's the CEO now, but it looks like you're preparing him for the future.
Yes. And what he has in his name is Stephen Moselle James Sanders. And he really thinks, if you watch the documentary that Mike Ruggiero put out, at the end of it, he said, my granddaddy started this. My dad ran this, and one day my granddaddy started this. My dad made it a foundation. One day I'm going to run it. So he is really running it, and his philosophy is teach the young people to be able to grow their own produce, or plant it. He's saying, hey, you got to do this. We're not talking about playing basketball, rapping music, blah, 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 but we're going to teach you how to grow your own produce. And we have a lot that the church is sharing with us. And he's already started. He had the land surveyed and got to cut down a couple of trees, and we're going to get that started.
Wow. Okay. I love it.
Yeah.
So not only are we going to be giving food to help the hungry, but encouraging people to learn how to raise their food. It's something we've gotten away from. I know my grandmother used to live out in Hawville, had a grapevine, and she had chickens in the backyard. We had fresh eggs. I remember that. Yeah. And she had she had all kinds of animals in the backyard, and they would kill them and eat them.
Well, we're not killing the animals right now. We're not going to deal with those activists, but I don't think we're having any problem with producing our own produce.
Right. Right. I love it. I love it. So again, for people who are watching, whether they want to give, volunteer, or they need a meal, go over the details of how they can be involved in this year's Moselle Sanders Foundation effort.
Okay, right now today, you can give by texting Moselle 313131, or you could go to our website and you could, which is mosellesanders.org, www.mosellesanders.org, or you can call 317-636-7985. It gives you like 4 prompts, and one is to donate, how many dinners you want, volunteering, and then another one, like if you have questions of some sort, and someone will try to get back with you within 48 hours.
Wow. Okay. Okay. You're doing it like you always do it, Stephanie. And I want to thank you because you are perfect for leading the Moselle Sanders Foundation. And of course, years ago, God knew that your father-in-law and your husband were not going to be here, but you are the perfect person to take the helm. And I just love your personality and your energy, and you get people fired up. And what's that you always tell me? You have not. What do you tell me all the time?
You have not because you ask not.
That's right. Tell them, Stephanie.
And I have no problem with that. But I'd also like to say Moselle's motto was, don't look down on the man that you're trying to pick him up. Mine is, if each one would feed one, everyone would be fed. And my son Stefan's is, a healthy mind begins with a full stomach. But at the end of the day, it's in the Bible over there in James. You have not because you ask not. So we're asking all of our Hoosiers to help us make 2022 a blessing for those, for the homeless, the hungry, the underserved. We got so many words that we call them now, but less fortunate. You know, people that are hungry, they're starving.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you and your effort every year. Stephanie Sanders, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you all for joining us on COVID-19 Recovery. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
During the COVID-19 emergency, community action agencies are open and here to ensure the well-being of families across the country. For over 50 years, we've been delivering life-changing services, solutions, and stability.
Serving Boone, Hamilton, Hendricks, and Marion counties, be sure to visit our website to learn about employment and education opportunities, food, housing, transportation assistance, and more. Apply today by calling 317-396-1800.